Alright YouTube, what is going on? My name is Bigfoot. Welcome back to some more Cities Skylines here on the map of Fordell Valley. In the last episode we got our city started, and as you can see here is a very basic city with a few facilities. And I just want to go ahead and start this episode by just addressing all your wonderful feedback we had on the start of the series, which is good. So, I've got quite a few questions from that. One of the first being just going ahead and recommending that I have a lot of mods on. Now, as I said, it's going to start off a vanilla series and I'm going to add mods where required. Right now I've already had suggestions from Meister saying stuff like traffic president. That would be a massive help. I think it would be a very good idea to go ahead and do, but right now I really don't have a lot of traffic, so I don't need it. And one of the things that's really put me off this game in the past is adding too many mods in and then just being drowned in them, so that's my approach. I'm just going to add when required, and then on top of that as well, naming villages and all that sort of stuff after people. It's something I do want to do, but it's something that I won't do straight away, though it's something that I'm going to actually have to name some districts in this episode. That will be very important. And then on top of that, we also got a really useful comment from Billy Twister saying that it's really just asking, do I have all the DLCs? Currently I don't have any DLCs activated on this, so that is something again which I'll add in. I'll probably buy the Mass Transit DLC partly through this series, and then, I mean, we're going to be bringing in the Industries one very shortly as well. That comes out tomorrow, which is super exciting, so I'm quite excited about that too. And again, that's another reason for now why I just don't want to bring in the mods. Though again, for example, I would very much want to go ahead and get rid of the purple ground here, you know, because it's really not that elegant in all honesty, and it's something that I would like to go ahead and get rid of. But at the same time, it's nice playing it on vanilla. It makes the game very basic, and it makes it, it's different. It makes it enjoyable in a different way, I guess you could say. Anyway, so long introduction over. What are we going to do this episode? Well, first of all, we are gaining a bit of money, but I think we need to go ahead and improve upon that. Second of all, as well, we need to go ahead and start to really just grow the town at quite a large rate, to be honest. And I need to go ahead and actually name the town, so on and so forth. Now, someone got a little bit confused, and I understand why he got confused, because I didn't really explain it that well, but people were saying, what is this series called? Is it called Fordell County or Fordell Valley? Well, what this series is called is it's called Fordell County. However, it's based in Fordell Valley, so that's why the map name is called Fordell Valley. Though the series is called Fordell County, and then we will have a village of Fordell as well, though I'm not necessarily sure it'll be this village here, for example, but this is really what this series, that's how all the like naming sequences go. We'll have lots of little villages, and then hopefully quite a large city here over time as well. That would be the ideal long-term aim anyway. Right, okay, so off to a not bad start, basically just addressing some water issues and expanding our water facilities, which are going to be okay for quite a long time, to be honest. Can't really see much going wrong there anytime soon. Then outside of that, the real demand is for industrial, which is quite exciting, so I'm going to go ahead and address that need right now. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with our builds, which we've currently got going on here. Let me go ahead and change to the right road though. Let's go ahead and draw a large 6-lane highway coming down here, which arguably costs a lot of money, which we really don't have at this stage, but it is something that I'm probably going to have to do. And then from here we're just going to build up a road up there, and that gives us plenty of additional industrial areas which businesses can be built in. Then on top of that as well, let's go ahead and get some some more low density facilities along the bottom here. And then I suppose we can probably add a small one up the top here as well for the time being, indeed. And then let's just go ahead and continue to accelerate the game. So let's jump this on to at least ×2, if not ×3 speeds. That should hopefully go ahead and, I guess, rebalance the demands. I would like to go ahead and unlock offices this episode. 6,000 people I think is very achievable this episode, so let's go ahead and try and aim for that. I would also maybe like a cargo train station in this episode as well. I think that would be a really good idea. Though again, it's just trying to get it into such a small space here, one, and then also going ahead and trying getting a road connection as well. I would love to do all this stuff, but it's just how practical and how much money I really earn this episode. As we can see right now, we're at a profit of about 200, or 2,500 should I say, though again, we need to go ahead and try grow that closer to about 5,000 if we can. I could again go ahead and raise taxes, but again, I'm not too fond of that right now. And then also as well, we're seeing a lot of pollution, especially over here, so it'd be really useful if we managed to get our sewage thing unlocked, but 14,000 people, it's probably an episode or two away. I don't think we'll get to that stage at all this episode. But again, we'll see. And then power. Power is a bit touch and go right now, to be honest, because we've already got ourselves the coal station up the top here, which is doing not too bad. Then we've got some advanced wind turbines in the water over here, which are doing well. And then we've also got another turbine on top of the hill, so quite a variety, I guess, of different buildings going on there. So we'll just have to go ahead and see how things get on. And yes, we need to go ahead and expand the water pipes. I'm just going to go ahead and pre-build most of these water pipes, to be honest, so I go ahead and avoid this issue which I seem to get all the time. So that's that sorted there. It looks like we're also having some fire issues. Ideally we would like another fire station over here, but that's realistically not going to happen. Okay, so it's good to see we're actually starting to get a lot more well-educated workers into the place. That's good to see, since we built our high school at the end of the last episode. That is relatively full. We should also have, if I'm right in saying it's not there, I'm trying to look for our elementary school, though I'm not seeing it off the top of my head. If we jump into... not here. If we jump into here right now, yeah, there it is there. So, yeah, okay, we're not doing too bad. We're at 234, so it's nice to see the schools aren't full capacity, which is good. Also realise we have a tiny wee bit of a frame rate issue here. It's really not that bad, to be fair, actually. But again, I do have everything on, like, the maximum setting. And we're also playing at max speed, so we'll slow that down a tiny bit there. Okay, so we're now up to 34,000 all of a sudden, which is wonderful. So what I'm going to continue to do is I'm going to continue to go ahead and upgrade the roads as we go here. So what we are going to do is we're going to add in some more residential, because we are just really waiting on residential growth right now. So let's add all that in there. And then while we're at it, let's add another road up here. Now, at the start here, it's going to be a bit repetitive, to be honest, until we go ahead and get a little bit more unlocked. My main aim right now is to just get as much unlocked as possible. Let's also go ahead and fill in this a little bit more at the top here, so we can go ahead and get some more commercial in town. Right, we're also going to need to do now, we've got the money, a massive expansion to this area over here, because this is really what is letting us down right now. So we build right down to here, build along to there, and then if we build up here for the time being, then we can go ahead and fill most of this in, and then we can actually start to do crossroads as well, like so, leaving relatively small gaps in between as well, and that's perfect. So if we go ahead and very quickly zone quite a lot of this up, not all of this up, but we'll go ahead and zone quite a lot of it up, like so, then that should hopefully go ahead and help do wonders. Again, just segregating the industrial area basically by the motorway, highway, whatever you want to call it, from the residential area, and then we'll go from there, which is good. So that'll quite easily meet that demand, and then all of a sudden we're at the stage where we're just at about 3,000 people, though again, I'm just going to continue this mass expansion to start this episode, to be honest. That's what I'm really aiming for here. So if we go ahead and join all that up there, then we build another road right down there, like so. Then that'll work nicely. Let's zone all of this up right here, there, and then let's go ahead and fill up that down the bottom there. Right, so that's so much zoning done all of a sudden. I'm quite tempted by a bus route already, to be honest. Long term we are going to get rid of this middle roads here though, and we are going to upgrade to just, I want more of these dual carriageways just to go ahead and make sure the traffic, again, doesn't build up too badly. How are we doing on our garbage facilities though, and in all our facilities in general? So right now our garbage isn't looking, it's not too bad, I guess you could say. We really could do again with a incinerator plant. However, again, we need 6,000 people for that, so it's another reason why we need to get up there. We also have a medical facility, which that's doing fine in general. I don't expect that to be overcrowded at all yet. Then our fire safety. It's interesting, we could really do with something over here, and I'm quite tempted. Especially with the amount of money we've got, I feel I should. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to build a fire station over there. And then police-wise, we should be doing good again over here. We've got a lot of criminals in the building right now, which is interesting actually, but I don't have enough for a jail, so that's going to take a while to come around, or we would require police headquarters for that matter. That costs 60,000, so yeah, we're not too far away population-wise, but really for the needs, we're nowhere near that, to be honest. I don't think we'll need that building any time soon. It may mean that some residents or some prisoners roam free, but honestly, for the time being, it's worth it. Right, so it looks like we're really struggling on our commercial demand, so what I can do is I can go ahead and add in some more areas for commercial buildings to be built in. If we go ahead and build I guess, sort of like a key area down here, and then what I can also do is I can actually go ahead and add in a physical key as well. Though before we go ahead and do that, let's actually zone up this town first of all here. So if I go ahead and press shift and I draw right along there, or it's not shift, but it's done it quite straight anyway. That's good. Then if we draw right down here, and all of a sudden we have a major electricity outage, which is an issue. I'm not at all sure if it's town-wide or if we've just disconnected from something or what. Yeah, no, we've actually got a shortage here, so that can quite easily be solved by adding in another one of... How much do these cost each? They cost a whopping 12,000, so yeah, it's just the lack of electricity power is what we don't actually have because of all this mass building all of a sudden, so... Yeah, one of those isn't really gonna do, is it? Which is a problem. Yeah, let's just build a second one there. So that should hopefully go ahead. That puts us up to 90. Though again, we're just barely meeting the needs and no more of the population. We're gonna have to build another one actually as well right now. So that's us up to 108. So that's given us enough for the time being. We're sort of biding our time as of current. And then now we've actually gone ahead and built up a key down here. We can go ahead and physically build a key. But I was in the middle of zoning this area up, which is our town, and then we're going to have a different area over here, and that's going to be with regards to our industrial estate, which is just going to go ahead and... I don't think there's really much need for policies right now, to be honest. I mean, going forward, I think we will go ahead and add in a policy of no driving through heavy vehicles with this. I really do want to go ahead and expand out the highway network as we go ahead and expand through the map, but... What we'll start off is we'll start off with, I think we could call this actually Crescent in Dust. Can I spell here? In Dust Royal Estate is what we'll call you. So that's Crescent Industrial Estate, which is perfect. And then we could just call this Crescent Village actually. I think that's maybe a not bad idea for the time being. So welcome to Crescent Village. Quite a plain generic name, but that does the job there. And all of a sudden again our demand has flipped back over, interestingly actually, to the one and only industry, which is perfect. We're all of a sudden bouncing up to a population of 4,000, which is perfect, just what I want to see. So I really can't complain there at all. We're at the stage now where I could really do with some high density, but again I'm quite far away from that, but I feel I need to improve the actual facility capacity right now of other stuff before I go ahead and continue on there. Water-wise, all of a sudden we're not just about struggling, but I think we could do with a little bit more water capacity and then sewage capacity. We will add a second node in there as well, so that will resolve any issues there. We're up to 5,000 profit right now a month, which is perfect. Heating, we don't have to deal with, fortunately, because we're not on snowfall, which is good to see. I do really feel a bus route now could be super useful, just taking people from Crescent Village to Crescent Industrial Park, and I feel it would get quite a bit of use as well. And there's also quite a good route for it to actually go along too, as of current. Let me go ahead and just fill in this final zones here, so we can go ahead and pretty much fill this whole place out and meet the demand. But I think that's what I'm going to do right now. That's what we will do. We'll go ahead and build a bus route, and I also want to build a quay though as well, but I don't know if we have those unlocked yet. Though I'm even trying to think of the menu, and I can't even think of the menu right now. Yeah, it's in here. Yeah, okay, so we do have keys, or they're called flood walls here. No, this is the key here, perfect, yeah, so what I would quite like to do is actually just try and build a key right along the front here. And keys seem quite cheap as well, which is good to see. So let's go ahead and try and get that along there. Though again, this isn't really working on the hard tool right now. I mean, does that work? Doesn't that work? It looks a bit messy, especially around here. I'm going to cut some of this back here right now, actually. And then if we can try and get a bit more of a natural bend coming around here, I think that would be a lot better. So if we build to there and then join round to there, that looks good, minus this bit here in front of the key. But again, it's not too bad in all honesty. And that wraps around there quite nicely. So that looks okay. Again, just trying to add a little bit more detail, though this isn't doing too much in all honesty. Let's go ahead and continue this round the corner here. Well, that doesn't go in enough, does it? Let's just build a straight bit out to there, and then let's do a sharp corner. No, that ain't gonna happen, is it? Right, we're up to busy town though, so we got some more policies, oil industry. We got free public transport policy, some new roads. Honestly, nothing too exciting right now. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much here, am I? No, that's not good, is it? Not good in the slightest. Yeah, shoreline required. Yeah, right, okay, we could always just build a separate one along here, actually. Though again, that's not going to do much, so I'll come back and I'll edit that part off camera. But I'll go ahead and build up the waterfront too, adding some paths maybe. Also adding a lot more trees as well going forward, but it's just something right now which we'll come back to. I just need to get an initial population boost for the time being. Right, okay, so we're doing quite good in general actually, and all of a sudden we're into so much money, which is great to see as well. That is absolutely perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do a road extension down here, and along here and up to there, so that can be an expansion zone. Let's continue this road right along here, and let's continue this road along here. Now we're also getting to the stage though where we're starting to go up the hill, which I'm realising could be quite a negative thing. So what we are going to do is we are probably going to start to expand further north here. Like so, let's go north for 3 blocks along to there, and that can join into there, which is perfect. So you can really see where this is going. We're just going to go ahead and continue this hamlet out, I guess, with the expansion. I realise we might have cut off some of our electricity there, but that should be fine for the time being. Let me go ahead and expand right up here, like so, and that should bring the power lines into radius, I'm hoping anyway. Just fill in these blanks, let's fill in that section there. Hopefully that should fill up, though again, that's not really the demand right now. It really is a lot more for the industrial estate, but I really can't do too much more. Though we could cross the railway tracks here. Though I think it's because, yeah, it's not going to work. I'm going to need to elevate it more a bit. I feel I need to buy the neighbouring tile, honestly. That would make a bit more sense. At 4,500, I really can't complain. So let's buy that. Let's also buy that. And let's... yeah, let's leave it at that for now. So let's jump back into the map right now. So that means I don't have to worry too much about the expansion there. What we can do is we can go ahead and go back to a 6-lane highway and expand you along here for the time being, and then we can just add some more roads off this. What I'm going to do, I've got a few ideas in mind right now. I think what we'll do is... yeah, if we build that up there right now, to there, say, that's quite a pathetic small road. We'll build this right down here, join that up there. That gives us lots more to play with, which is good. So let me go ahead and fill in this small area for the time being. I do want to go ahead and build this cargo train station over here too. I feel I'm trying to do a bit too much at once though, so let's tone things back a bit. Let's go ahead and get ourselves our first bus depot on the map, which is exciting. So we'll get this along the main street here, just off the back here. So that'll go in there, and then this means we can get our first bus route, which again is going to be very, very basic indeed. What it's going to do is it's going to start by Basically just making its way around the neighbourhood, through the Crescent Village, stopping at multiple locations. And then once it's done here, it's going to continue over basically into the industrial estates, basically just doing a one-way route sort of thing. Then we can actually have it come over here like that, perfect. And then you come right through Crescent Industrial Estate, right down to the bottom, right up the sides. And then it can loop back through to here. We'll not get it go into the key, that's fine, and then we can continue it pretty much back to where it starts. So that's the route made, so again, it's really not a complex one. If we jump into here now, and let's just call this the Crescent Village, or let's do Industrial Estate to Village, so again, I'm just abbreviating things there. That's quite easy to go by, and it's going to have 5 stops. It's going to run day and night, which is good. And then with regards to... it's got 6 vehicles to start with, 7 vehicles. It's increasingly adding more, which is interesting. We do have a fair amount of passengers waiting at various stops, actually, especially up here. We've got 36. Though again, it's already increased the amount of vehicles up to 10, so we'll come back to this in a second and actually see how much of the route actually gets used. Because it really just depends on the buses rolling out here and seeing how busy they really fill up. And it takes a few loops for the buses to spread out a bit as well, which is important. But at least we've got a route now actually going. Quite happy about that indeed. Right, okay, so now we've done that, I guess you could say, we can now jump over to this side of the map and we can go ahead and upgrade things. Before I do that though, let's go ahead and add in some more water capabilities, which I'm evidently going to have to go ahead and expand for the second time this episode. This mass expansion is a bit of a killer. Or no, I don't actually, it's because the new area isn't connected up. So that should hopefully go ahead and resolve that issue. Yeah, there we go, perfect. And that will do for the time being. Right, so jumping back over here, let's go ahead and get ourselves a cargo station. Though I'm thinking, have we unlocked it? That's a very good question. Well, first of all, we don't actually have trains unlocked, which is problematic. So you need a population of 8,500 for that. So quite a wee bit off that, in all honesty. So we're going to have to go ahead and leave that for the time being and just continue to build the population. Though that, again, now shouldn't be a difficulty at all. I can just go ahead and pretty much mass build. So let me go ahead and mass build these roads. We're easily going to get to 6,000 population very shortly. Let me go ahead and... first of all, I would like a lot more commercial down here. So let me fill in a good portion of this housing estate with commercial. Then what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to add another park down here, so, or I could actually also add another elementary school down here, which I think would be a good idea, so let me do that there. Then beside that, let's have a park, albeit quite a small park, mind you, 160 a week large playgrounds. I think that would work quite well beside a school. And then we can also have another small one maybe up... yeah, so another small one maybe up here. I think that's quite a good idea. Again, just making sure the city's quite well balanced with its variety of parks. Then let's go ahead and expand my water network for the time being. So let's connect you into there and fill up the northern part of town. And then this lower part of town as well, I feel will need better connection. Like so, which is good. Right, so that's that done. Let me go ahead and just fill all this in now. Let's get our paint bucket tool and let's fill all of that in. And then again, we can just do the same with all of this up here. And then, voila, absolute perfect. We'll also go ahead and zone that bit there and that bit there for more commercial. So again, the demand now is going to turn over to more of the industrial, which we can go ahead and accommodate for. So now really it's just going ahead and letting all this build. So it'll jump up very quickly to ×3, Looks like we have a few. I don't have auto bulldoze mod, which is something which is quite interesting. Interestingly, do we have a dead person in the elementary school? That's not very good. Not good at all, actually, which is great. But we do have a... Do we have a crematorium? We have a cemetery somewhere, do we not? We don't even have a cemetery. No, we don't have a cemetery, so that's probably what's causing us some issues in all honesty. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and build one, though it's going to have to go in... Build it up by the railway line up here, actually. I think that's a good idea. So we'll stick that up the top of town there. And that'll hopefully go ahead and accommodate for our deceased for now. We unlock a crematorium at 14,000 in population, so yeah, quite a bit away from that, but that should serve the town for the time being. Hearse is in use 1, so that should clear out the dead body in the elementary school, which looks like it has. And also the population of this elementary school has dropped quite drastically, but I guess that's been spread now between the 2 elementary schools. And actually the newer one we built here has actually now got the bulk of the students, which is interesting indeedo. Okay, so we're just waiting on all this filling up now. Again, we seem to be doing quite well with regards to our profits. 6,000 right now we're bringing in, near enough 7,000 actually, and all of a sudden we're just trickling ever closer to that 5,000 mark, and then it's just the race up to 6,000, and at least we can go ahead and start to change densities. What I am going to do controversially though is I'm going to start some of my upgrades, so I'm going to get rid of some of these middle roads. So I'm going to have to go ahead and relocate that other elementary school, which, okay, is probably not going to leave me the most popular person right now. But let me go ahead and just fill all of this middle caveat in. Let's go ahead and grab elementary school. We've got one right down the bottom there, so let me go ahead and add in basically one just up the top of the town here, like so. Basically replacing the old one, and then hopefully these gaps should slowly but surely start to refill. Because again, I really am meeting the population's needs right now. It's not exactly like they're that difficult to go ahead and meet anyway. Though again, we are seeing 1 or 2 complaints here about garbage. Which the processing status, that's the thing that's incredibly low. Though again, we'll go ahead and be able to go ahead and change from that as soon as we go ahead and reach 6,000, though this landfill is filling up rapidly quickly. It's at 71%, so I can go ahead and empty into another facility, but again I need to go ahead and actually get the incinerator facility before we can start to do that, but we should reach our population goal by the time that happens. Outside of that, electricity wise, we are just okay and no more. Though, again, that seems to be changing quite a lot. I think what we're going to do is probably just go ahead and shut down this wind turbine. It costs us 80 a week in total, and that's giving us 6 megawatts. So if we come over here, these are giving me, yeah, 20 megawatts, and they cost 200 a week. So, I mean, it's not... I mean, it is pretty relative, actually. But you know what, I'm going to get rid of this, because it's going to be more difficult to go ahead and maintain. Though in saying that, if I go ahead and just jump in here, and this can range anywhere from only 0 to 8, because I'd maybe think about putting some right up the top here. But that would only give me 8 megawatts, for example, so it's not that great, whereas obviously these only go in water, but I can get these in the middle of the lake, and these give me an absolutely wonderful power outage, or usage should I say. So we're going to build 2 more of those in the lake, so that should give us ample amount of power for the time being. And then what we are going to do is we're just going to get rid of this sole wind turbine, because it's not required, and we can also get rid of a lot of these power lines as well now, because they are no longer needed, just because the town has grown the way the town has grown. Let me also go ahead and I guess expand the districts, or the zoning of our Crescent Village here, both at the top and over by the lake as well. So that's that sorted out there. Could add a railway station in it here actually. I'm quite tempted to do that as well. Though again, we don't have the required population for that just yet, which is a real shame, so it'll take time. We'll get there. We'll definitely get there, but it's just a waiting game right now. I feel this episode's been a bit stagnant, to be honest. It's just been expanding our city so far. How's our bus route doing though? That's a big question. So we're up to 152 passengers per week. These are all residential. If I click on the expansion here, we can see in general right now that we have a variety of different capacity of buses, and we've got way too many people waiting at certain stops. I'm guessing that this is in particular at stops coming to more towards the end of town. Interestingly not actually, but we don't have enough buses, that's the bottom line, so let me go ahead and jump this up to 16 buses. We've definitely got a lot more people wanting to leave the town. I mean, there's 0 people waiting there. But then the bus stop before that, come back into town, we've got 15, 17, 18, over 100 here. But the thing is, the time the buses get round to these massive stops, then we're basically, the buses are full, so they can't really pick any more people up, which is a real shame. So we can go ahead and sort that out, hopefully quite quickly. And yeah, rubbish is becoming a real big issue real quickly, which isn't great at all. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and add in a few more streets very quickly. So if we go ahead and build down there, that's not going to really work to my advantage. Yeah, let's build down to there. Continue this along into... that's not going to work, is it? Right, let's just cut that corner there for the time being. Let's go ahead and add in enough houses on this street. This should tick us over, I'm hoping anyway, into the wonderful, wonderful 6,000. If it doesn't though, then that could be an issue. Can we actually get a... we can get a tiny more bit of low density commercial along this main road here. I do feel this is going to come a choke point very quickly though indeed. I'm quite worried about that. Right, come on, 6,000. Give us 6,000. Please, for the love of God. Yep, here we go, perfect. Right, we're going to take over very shortly indeed, which is good. Then, it's really just about upgrading a lot of the facilities now. I'm going to go ahead and start off by probably doing the incineration plant, because that is going to probably have the most benefit on the town. So, we'll build this over by the dump here. Let me go ahead and stick that in right beside it, actually. So that should make a difference. Now we should be able to go ahead and... yeah, start to empty this building into another facility, which is good. Especially when it's at 94% full as well, because we can't really have this going too much higher. We've also got 27 garbage trucks here. This is going to cost us a lot of money though. Fortunately we're bringing in a lot of money, so that's not too bad. And then that should hopefully go ahead and take the pressure off our landfill site as well, which is good. So that's one big change, which should hopefully affect the city pretty quickly. Then on top of that, we should have sewage works as well. No, that's at 14,000, no way. Right, okay, what else have we got here? So we have a sauna, which is a healthcare facility that will go ahead and help the... saunas create a health bonus to the neighbourhoods around them and increase happiness. Costing 400 a week. We can get this pretty much to cover the whole of the city. So I think that's what we'll honestly go ahead and do. We'll go ahead and stick that in there. And that has quite a large impact, I feel, on the whole town. So that should make some difference. Costing quite a bit of money, but I feel it'll be worth it. We also have a university now as well, though I really don't feel that's just. Though it depends really on what's going on over here with regards to our workers. So I mean, we've got a lot of jobs available, which is good to see. We do have a density increase on our residential, and we also have offices now as well, which is quite important. So I want to get an office district probably in this area here very shortly indeed as well. Let's go ahead though, and we might as well for the first time go and build some high density residential and see really how this works out on the map. Though again, I'm really sort of unsure where I'm going to do that. I think we need to rezone this area here actually, so we can fill this area up with some high density. And then what I think I may also do is I think we'll have some offices in the next episode coming down and filling this area up here. And I mean, there's a lot of pollution here though by the water, that's the only downfall, but again, I'm gonna have to just face the pollution right now. I don't really have too much more choice in the matter until we actually go ahead and get just a lot more built in this town, because for the time being it's just until we unlock a lot more stuff and get a lot more money and get a lot more infrastructure down, it is going to be difficult. That's just how things are going to be. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here, so hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a like rating. Our town has got a lot larger this episode. We've gone ahead and really expanded it to quite a decent, it's gone from a village to a town. I think that's the best way to describe it. We've got a lot of vital unlocks now, which this vanilla Let's Play very much needs, and we can hopefully go ahead and take that to the next level in the next episode. Hopefully go ahead and get some maybe trains on the go in the next episode, and maybe also some more... I'm not really at all sure, to be honest. Actually, we'll just see where the series goes. I mean, I'm just waiting on this industrial DLC, which will come in from episode 4, ladies and gentlemen, so hope you can join me when that happens. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this episode. Please leave a like, rate, and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into that description below, go ahead and leave me some feedback. Check out my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Discord, and that's all, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.